What's going on, everybody? TheKennyDubz here with another Mega Man X Dive update video. So let's take a look at what's happening this week in X Dive. And coming to the global version of X Dive, VIA is finally joining the roster over the global version. Next week, a North American server for the global version of X Dive, we will finally receive one of the best characters in the roster, VIA. Gotcha comes with a single free temple as per usual. VIA is also a Dive Festival unit. It doesn't mention it here, but it's like it has a Dive Festival, you know, like a little background show Super Base as well. But Super Base, I think, is coming to EU Latam. But yes, VIA is the next Dive Festival unit. What's more, a special Valentine's Day capsule featuring Valentine's Day Seal and Valentine's Day Iris will be available. Players can get a free temple voucher on the 10th day login. Okay, that's pretty nice. We get one free pull on the Valentine's banner for Seal and Iris. When it comes to new DNA code VIA, Valentine's Day Seal, Valentine's Day Iris will get theirs unlocked. Meanwhile, the European and LATAM servers will receive Super Base and a single free 10-point gotcha capsule. Nice there. Very interesting that VIA is actually coming with his DNA already included. Super Base, Valentine's Day Seal, and Valentine's Day Iris DNA code will unlock as well on the other servers because they're just getting Super Base now. Super Base dropped with his DNA in global. Both servers get the same Valentine's Day capsule and free vouchers in the North American server. Lastly, all servers will get a chance to fight X4 Sigma's third form and the third round of the guild boss event. So we're getting a new guild boss this week, which I don't know. It feels a little too soon for another guild, for another raid boss, to be quite honest. Hopefully this one doesn't last 2 weeks again, because I'm not sure about the rest of the community, but with the raid boss last 2 weeks, I just lose like all interest in doing it. I was like, 1 week, sure, you know, that'll be fun for 1 week. But I don't want to have to do it for 2 weeks personally. Outside of that, it's really cool that VIA's releasing now, though we got Dr. Light early, so I think that kind of definitely influences people's preferences for pulling for VIA right now. I think VIA's good. Unfortunately, like I said, we did get Dr. Light early, and VIA is decent for raids. However, at least in the Taiwan version, we got a unit that's better for raids than VIA, like the next week in the Taiwan version. So I don't know if that's going to happen in global. Kind of hoping it doesn't, because we're already getting slammed this year with limited units as it is. But if you wanted a unit for raids, what should be the next Dive Festival unit would be a better choice than VIA. But VIA still has some other cool things about him, and I think he's really fun to toy around with. But then over on the Taiwan server, alright, so we have this information here. Now, I saw this before I ended up going to bed for the night. I saw this was going to be the next character. I was like, alright, well, I'm still going to bed because I was really tired this morning. But VIA's true form brings the final battle to Rockman X Dive this Wednesday. Following his reveal a couple of weeks ago, players can finally score off against VIA's true form this Wednesday and a part of Chapter 20. What's more, he'll be a playable character too. We'll do this after the break. We'll watch this as per usual at the end of the video. But I have not even done the story up to this point yet for VIA. I just know what VIA looks like because it was kind of floating around. But VIA's first active skill is Swift Shadow Slash. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Performing an extremely quick charging slash at the target to deal damage when playing Arena. You can use this skill to teleport to your target's location in North Terrain. Well, of course you can, because that's just how skills are now. With a certain passive skill activated, VIA's movement speed will increase and target will be unable to use skills on hit. Okay, nice and overpowered. His second active skill is Ray of Extinction. Ooh, that sounds dangerous. Continues to deal damage to all enemies, followed by 4 beams will continue to deal damage to the target with a certain passive skill activated. VIA recover HP and move all buffs on the target. Okay. Other passive skills will provide damage reduction by 20% and further damage reduction by 15% from short range attacks and 40% from medium range attacks. Equipping Saber style, a Saber type weapon reduces damage taken by 15% too. So I really like this passive right here. I think up until now only like Gaia Armor X has had something similar to this, where it has damage reduction, like a lot of damage reduction packed into it, but it's based off of how far you are from the opposition. So I kind of like that one. VIA's true form, VIA. What? Oh my gosh, it's actually VIA with a box. Because I'm looking at the title right here too, like you see a little. Okay. His officially call will be available this Wednesday's Die Festival character too, so you can take advantage of the higher drop rates if you want. Let's check out the new remix of the classic X vs. Zero theme. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's very interesting that they mentioned that this ViA's Die Festival character on Rockman Corner, but they didn't do it for this ViA. Yeah, well, like I said, this ViA is a Die Festival character as well. Just something to be aware of. So incredible odds are on the way. But let's go ahead and take a look at my Taiwan account. So take a look at ViA real quick. All right, here we are on my Taiwan account taking a look at ViA, and actually I thought I had him at 5 stars, but I guess I didn't. Anyway, I love ViA's intro right there, and let's take a look at his splash screen real quick there. All right, I had to zoom out quite a bit there for ViA, but the active skills. So we have ViA style technique, ViA style sword technique blue. This is a powerful energy attack that strikes all enemies within range, dealing Alright, sorry, I leveled mine up, so I had to go pull up the wiki real quick. It's about 227% attack damage per shot without taking any damage from you, so you have iframes during this, right? And for the modifier chips, we have the power increase here, increase damage by 5%, which is pretty jank. We have the mobility, reduces prep time by 20%, so then it goes down to about 9.5 seconds with that. And then here we have ViA style sword technique blue Kai. Prep time is reduced by 50%, and the focus range of the areas is smaller, making it easy to do continuous damage without taking any damage. And that is amazing. So this modifier chip alone just reduces prep time by 50%, so it goes from a 12-second cooldown to a 6-second cooldown. Just fantastic. And then it makes the range a lot smaller and easier to hit continuous damage. And if you take a look here, like the animation is visually different as well. So you can see here it's kind of like the I think it's called Rakoha is the skill of the I believe it's Izzy Glow's skill, or similar to Ray Arrow. Like this is like an inverse Ray Arrow. It comes down from the side instead of coming up from the bottom of the screen. But then if we click on this right here, you can see like it makes it kind of like the columns like kind of spin around ViA. This one is pretty cool. Next up, we have ViA style sword technique Swift. From an extremely quick charging slash of the target to deal about 256% attack damage. You are invulnerable while doing the movement to this attack skill and become accelerated after using the skill. Increase your movement speed by 44%. When playing in arena, you use the skill to teleport to the location of your target and ignore terrain. When the target is available, the attack will be performed on the spot. So basically, you can think of this kind of like a Proton Step Sword with a much shorter range here. Pull on this is quite fast, so that's very nice as well. First up, power increase damage by 5%. You don't really care about that. Showtime, not suffer negative side effects while using ViA sword style technique Swift, which is probably what you're going to be using most of the time in PvP. And then finally, we have close quarter combat. Range is reduced by 25%, but damage rate is increased by about 13%. Which, I mean, that's not too bad, but I would much rather just have true showtime on this than reducing my range on this. So, for the passive skills, we have Battle Mania. And Battle Mania is actually pretty interesting. When landing hit with a weapon, there is a chance to increase damage dealt to an enemy by 15%. It can be stacked up to 4 levels. So, according to the wiki, this is a 30% chance to trigger this. And you can think of this kind of like the Nightmare's ability to just gain stacks by using attacks. This is a similar vein, but this is a chance instead of a guaranteed. Next up, we have Melee Mastery. Increases damage by 20% when equipping a melee weapon. Very simple there. Very nice to have. Then we have Art of the Sword. ViA style sword technique blue hits a target, it creates a dimensional rift that continues to damage the target that comes into contact. This effect can only be triggered once more after a 6-second cooldown. When ViA style sword technique swift hits a target, it will launch 3 slash waves, and dealing about 80% damage to all targets in its path. Alright, 79. It's closer to 79, but whatever. This can only trigger once more after a 4-second cooldown. When launching an aerial attack with a sword, unleash slash wave that continues to deal damage to all targets in range. This can only trigger once more after a 2-second cooldown. So very, very, very loaded passive here. It has an essay inside of it. And the I wanted to mention that the first part of this, the Dimensional Rift, is very similar to, or it's actually, I'm pretty sure it's the same as the Berserker Greatsword Rift passive. Except we have Sword, Maestro, reduce damage taken by 20% when equipping a melee weapon, so that's great. You have damage amplification and damage mitigation on ViA, which is fantastic. When using ViA style sword technique blue, gain a shield that can withstand 96% attack damage, so that's great. Even more defense. Only triggered almost at the 6-second cooldown. That's great. Damage mitigation and a shield and one passive. Fantastic. I love to see that. And then we have Sword Apparition, doubles launch rate of Battle Mania. So Battle Mania goes from a 30-second to a 60-second trigger rate. ViA style sword technique blue produces a dimensional rift that adds a mobilization effect. So now you have a chance to stun targets on using your swift blue attack. ViA style sword technique swift unleashes a slash wave that causes the enemy to have a weakened defense, and it takes increased damage by about 42%. So defense crush as well. Aerial attack produces a slash wave that causes the enemy movement to slow down, reducing movement speed by 60%, which is great. 60%, I believe that makes normal units move about as fast as, or about as slow as Gaia Armor X does on average. Because when he gets the speed, which he doubles the speed, he moves about normal speed. But yeah, that's it for the passive skills for ViA. Let's take a quick look at the DNA, because we know he'll be released with his DNA. First up, we have energy feedback. When defeating a target with a weapon or skill, recover HP equal 18% of your attack, and will be triggered with a 6-second cooldown. This is okay. Other units have a bigger feedback on this, but I guess it's fine because ViA has inherent mitigation, inherent amplification, inherent shields. So I guess maybe that's why they gave him 18% as opposed to a little bit higher like they do for some other units. Like I think base is like 20-ish% or somewhere around there, 20, 24. As we have enhanced melee mastery, increases the effect of melee mastery by 20%, so it goes up to 20 to 24%. After hitting target with ViA style sword technique swift, randomly takes 1 buff. This effect can only trigger once more after a 6-second cooldown, so you can just dispel a buff when hitting someone, which is that's kind of getting phased out. Like having the dispel is great, but as more and more characters are getting buffs that cannot be removed, that's losing a lot of value. I blame mostly Grudge Axe for that, because Grudge Axe steals buffs, so in order to counteract that, they're just like, well, we'll just make a lot of buffs that you just can't remove. So, and then finally, Swordsmanship Maestro. Swordsmanship Maestro's damage reduction effect is increased by 20%, so from 20 to 24 when equipped with a melee weapon. And then when hit in long or mid-range by attack, damage is reduced by 10%. So that's it. Even more damage mitigation when long or mid-range attacks. Doesn't give you a short range damage mitigation, because you inherently have 24 as it is, access to a shield, and then on top of that you'll get even more mitigation depending on if you're long or mid-range. So that's pretty good there. And ViA doesn't have any cards of his own as of right now. I assume maybe a little bit later on he'll get some, but as of this moment he doesn't have any. But that's it for ViA. So let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for ViA's true form. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the true form ViA trailer. Turn this down a little bit as well. The voice is a lot different than I thought. Okay, that hair is a little bit wilder than I thought it would be too. This would be like Awakened ViA or something. I don't know, dude. Okay, the hair doesn't look as wild as it did in that your screenshot. It kind of makes me think of like Shishoma or Sephiroth though, with that hair though. Like in the image, the hair looks a lot different. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's. Oh, okay, that's what they meant when they said deal continuous damage and then the 4. Okay. Is it? Feels like they really don't like. Okay. Alright. That's pretty interesting. Is there anything else we can extrapolate from this? They're using the... I forgot the name of the saber. Crimson Red Lotus, I think. And the Fantasia Comet. There's a lot of things happening on screen with this. Oh, I don't think I like this very much. But there's too many effects happening on screen when using this VIA. Oh no. Uh... Oh, I don't like the amount of effects that are happening with this one. Yeah, the unit looks interesting. I might pull for it any... Oh, hold on, what was that? I didn't really... Like, I was trying to look at the wings to see what the wings are. But... I guess instead of VIA getting a dive armor, like, he gets this instead. Would be what I would guess. I mean, he still could get a dive armor at some point as well, but... he looks interesting. I might pull for him. I did kind of want to pull for Shadow Armor X, but I don't have enough EMs to pity him, and then whatever's going to happen this week. But it's still Die Festival, so I mean, like, incredible odds are abound. I mean, I might as well pull for him. I do need more calculated patches anyway. But yeah, that's going to be it for this update video. Let me know what you guys think is coming to the whatever server that you play on, or just what do you think is coming. What do you think about the things that are coming to servers in general? And sorry this video is late. Like I said, I wanted to go to sleep this morning, so now I'm recording this at 1:33 in the afternoon. But yeah, see you guys next video.